Viewers and subscribers, so welcome back again on this platform where we tell you undiluted truth. There is this thing that is happening in Nigeria, especially from the Yorubas. They are beginning to publish it everywhere, targeting Igbos living outside Igbo land. They are making this post on the social media.
Okay, I came across this post by Arabrihim Sola, definitely a Yoruba person, who said that you have to register as a non-indigene in Igbo land. These are people claiming ownership in other people's land. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. People who register others should themselves be registered outside their land. Where are the Omo Ale Yorubas supporting them? From Ayoade Ojeni. So this is the thing they are parading on the social media and using it to justify their destruction of Igbo people's properties in Lagos and across Yoruba land.
Good. Now, I need to explain and put clarification on this. This issue of asking tenants, that is it. The tenants or those who reside in various communities, especially in Anambra State and some parts of Igbo land, requiring them to fill in their forms, their works, what they do, and their informations is for security purpose. It has nothing to do with grabbing people's properties and destroying it, like the Western government is doing, because that is why they are trying. That's how they are trying to justify the actions of Lagos State in demolition and taking back forcefully properties of Igbos who reside in Lagos and outside and other places in the Yoruba land. And that is the truth. They are trying to turn the table upside down. They are trying to push it against Igbo. You have no right to own properties outside your homeland. When it now requires you, you are not even accepted anywhere outside Igbo land. In Nigeria, since you require people who are non-indigenous to fill in their forms. Yes, the people who are even filling these forms are Igbos. Like in my own community, my mother just told me when I visited, he said they gave her some form from our community town union that people living in your house should fill in the forms, those who are not from my community, Oko, for instance. The same is applicable to different communities for security purpose, so that you know who, because you might have somebody in your property. You maybe some of you who are not like some of us who are not in the village. Your property is, some of your properties in the village is rented for people who are not from your community. They are in your house. You are not there with them. You don't know what they do. You don't even know their occupation and what they do when you are not around. So in order to curb insecurity, they came up with that kind of security measures to get data. It is a normal procedure everywhere around the world. But now they are trying to turn it upside down against Igbo. Trying to use it against Igbo. It is something that everyone should do. Nobody should discourage anyone. But now, the Yorubas are now using it to flip the table against our people who, in their natural, life and values, wherever they go, they take that place as their homeland. They add value because meaning wherever you reside, you add value to it. You help that place to develop. You make it as if it is your own. Now, they are now interpreting it in a way that the Igbos are going about trying to grab people's land and properties, or trying to take control and of various people's communities and whatever. That kind of their mentality. They are shunning out against Igbos. That is why I'm making this clarification. So do not be deceived. But ultimately, since it's obvious from the actions of the government to the people that this country is not working as one, Igbo have asked, let us be on our own. You people say no. Okay, include us in what you are doing. You people said no. You don't want to accept them. You don't want to let them go. What is your own problem? What is the color of Nigerian people's problem against Igbo in Nigeria? That is the point. The point. You don't want to accept Igbos as Nigerians. You are treating them as outsiders from Nigeria. You don't even want to let them go and be on their own, so that if they come to your land as a foreigner, you give them the share you give foreigners. You dictate to them, but not telling them that every place in Nigeria is one Nigeria. Yet, in practical terms, Nigeria is so deeply divided, and not just divided, but targeted against Igbo particularly. And I have to say it. But Igbo, you must understand that none of you got rebema. That is why, if you come in Igbo land today, it is very hard for you to see Yoruba people, Hausa people, or non-Igbo indigenes flying real estates, doing capital-intensive businesses, fixed assets in Igbo land. You don't see them do that in Igbo land, because they know in their mentality Nigeria is not one and can never be one. Until an Igbo man understand this thing, they better for them. The sooner we understand this, the better for us as Igbos in Nigeria. We'll stop being victims of Nigeria. Whenever we preach Akuluno, this is the mindset. Bring your properties home. If you want to do real estate, do it in Igbo land. If you feel that it is not going to be lucrative, use your money to do something else. We have been asking people, let us invest in agriculture. How many of you are interested? If you are still interested, call me. Be part of it. Do agricultural estate. Do hospitality business in Igbo land. There are a lot of things you can do in Igbo land. I'm telling you, honestly speaking, we must all not cluster in Lagos. Sarah Puzialofa Port. If you bring in your goods from Lagos, carry it down to Igbo land. Let Igbos quit Lagos, by the way. Can't forget the economy of Lagos state will be. Let me see how the economy of Nigeria will be if Igbos decide to withdraw their industrial acumen and energy in the Nigerian economic sector and pull it back to the east. Let's see what happens. Let them do that business by themselves. That is the problem. Well, let me keep it at that. I don't want to say too much. I think I've passed the message already. Man, if you want to buy properties in Igbo land, I will encourage you deal with our real estate partners, verified and trusted. GFM, number 1. And number 2, CCF. Deal with them and thank me later. Still remain Association of the Peters, your advocate for good governance. I'm signing out. Bye-bye for now.
GGN, uniting the people for good governance.